Hey, what's up everyone, Roskill here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Tiger H1, the first variant of the Tiger ever introduced into War Thunder. Definitely not the last one. Gaijin seem to be just hell-bent on adding as many Tiger 1 variants as they possibly can. I mean, every nation eventually is probably going to have a Tiger 1, so yeah. Thanks, Gaijin, I guess. But anyway, so what we're going to be doing in this review today, or at least the order we're going to be doing it in. First, I'll take a look at the stat card of the tank. Then I'll take a look at the armor. Then I'll be taking a look at the X-ray. Then I'll be taking a look at the modifications of the tank. And then after all that is done, we'll be getting some battles to see how this tank performs. Anyway, let's go. So, the Tiger H1, it's a rank 3 tank with a battle rating of 5.3. It's a heavy tank, 88mm KWK 36 cannon with 92 rounds of ammunition. You will not run out of ammunition in this tank if you load full ammunition, but doing that is almost suicide, and I will get into that when I get to the X-ray. You have a 7.92mm MG34 machine gun, ammo 4,350 rounds, 66mm smoke grenade launchers here and on the other side as well, although you won't have them at first. You'll have to unlock them in the modifications. Turret rotation speed. Notice how my crew is almost stock here. I've done this specifically for this review, so that anyone who gets their Tiger just straight up knows almost exactly what they're going to be dealing with straight away. So 9 degrees a second turret rotation speed. You have -8 degrees gun depression and +16 degrees gun elevation, and you have a reloading rate of 1 round every 9 seconds. So you'll pretty much get 6 rounds a minute out with this tank stock. On the second minute you'll probably get 7, thanks to those added extra seconds there. The hull armor, 102mm at the front, 82mm at the side, 82mm at the rear. The side armor there is bullshit, and I will get into that in a minute. The turret armor on the front is 100mm on the turret front, 82mm on the side, 82mm on the rear. The front on that is bullshit. 165mm of penetration at point blank, 162 at 100 meters, and 151 at 500 meters. It has a crew of 5. Its mass is 57.3 tons. It has a 650 horsepower engine at 3000 RPM. This is a fully upgraded engine. I'll show the unupgraded engine, the stock engine, soon. Max speed is 27.9 miles an hour. The Tiger is not as slow as everyone is led to believe. The visibility, I ain't even going to bother with that because I don't see the point of it. So let's get into the armor, shall we? The lower plate on the front is 102mm thick at a 24-degree angle, which makes the lower plate actually stronger than the upper plate, which is also 102mm, but it's only at a 9-degree angle. So if you're aiming at the front, say it was facing at you like this, if you're aiming at the front here, aim here, do not aim there. Because if you aim here, well, you have more chance of penning there than you do there. Do not aim here. This is the magical driver's port. All shots bounce against the magical driver's port, which is God in this game. Magical driver's port absorbs your shot no matter how big it is. You could be a railway gun firing at this tank. This magical driver's port would just absorb your shot. It could be a nuclear bomb dropped right on the tank. If it hits the magical driver's port, it's not going to do anything. So do not aim, even though it looks like you can aim straight through it because there's no armor and there's holes there. Don't aim for it. It's best just to ignore it. Ignore the machine gun port weak spot because it's only 2mm more. Sorry, 2mm less than the hull armor. And if you miss and hit there, you're then hitting 200mm of armor. So if you aim there and miss, it's completely your own fault. Now, the turret front is 90mm here. So at first glance, it's like, oh yeah, the turret armor's, you know, it's 100mm, 90mm. Yes. In a way, the stat card is right. It's 100mm on the turret front, but it doesn't count the mantlet, which is another 90mm in front of that 100mm. So if you hit there, you're hitting effectively about 185mm of armour, which is the same amount of armour that the Tiger II has on the front of its turret. So yeah, good job with that. You'll be again completely your own fault, and you'll get killed, and just it's your own fault. You have 200mm here, cast, so that's about 190mm. Don't aim there, bad idea. You'll pay the price for that. Again, this is cast 120mm of armour, so it's more 115. Don't aim there. Oh, actually, sorry, do aim there. Apologies. That's where you want to aim with the Tiger H1. Aim there and there. These two orange bits, you'll pen them and kill it. You could aim here as well, but the cannon breach will probably absorb your shot. Now, the side armour, let's get into that now. So, I'm going to remove external armour for this. So, the side armour, 82mm on the side here, on the upper side, but on the lower side it's 62mm, and this is where the problem comes in playing the Tiger, because you need to angle to survive in this tank. However, the problem is, it's only 62mm here, and it's 82 there, and you might think, well, what is the problem there? Well, here's the problem right here. So, you angle like so. You've got some pretty good strong armor there now, right? Not there, you don't. Not on the lower side. Not on the lower side. That becomes a weak spot. As soon as you try and do a diamond shape angle in a Tiger, which is the way of surviving in a Tiger, well, you can't, because this becomes vulnerable. So you have to do more like that in War Thunder. Something like that, Now the upper plate's vulnerable. There's just no winning with this tank in terms of angling. You can either angle to make the front plate invincible, or the side plate's invincible. It's up to you which one you want to make invincible. Now, the turret side armor is 82mm. It's also 82mm on the rear of the turret. It's 82mm on the rear of the hull. The commander's cupola is 80mm. Anything that's got 90mm of pen, 100mm of pen, if you aim there and you're using an APHE round, your shot will probably bounce down, exploding inside the tank, killing it. Now, for all you cash users out there, you got 26mm on the top plates on the turret and the hull. So I think even 50 cals, if you're pointing directly down, flying straight down on this thing, your 50 cals will probably be enough to pen this thing and maybe knock it out. Now, for all those who like to hit tanks underneath with their HE and troll them, I have something special for you, because with this hanger I can show the underneath of this tank. So you have 82mm just behind the lower plate. So I don't know, let's call it the low plate. You have 82mm there. So if your HE shell has ever landed like there and not done anything to the Tiger, and you've wondered why, there's the reason why. If you hit right in the center though, underneath, it's only 26mm here, so you will pen the underneath there and you will blow the tank up. Now onto the X-ray. You have facing the tank the commander and the gunner on the right, the loader is on the left, the machine gunner on the left, and the driver on the right. On the front upper sides, all of the ammunition is stored here and here, and underneath you have all the ammunition right there. So facing from the side, the ammunition is there and there. The transmission, the bane of every German player, is at the front, where it can be shot, where it can be set on fire. The engine is at the back, a big old engine taking up the entire rear area. The fuel tanks here and the radiators are here, and I think that pretty much does it for the X-ray. Well, you got the cannon breech here, big cannon breech, probably good at absorbing shots. Let's move on to the Tiger's modifications. So on tier 1 of the modifications, we have the tracks parts, horizontal turret drive, and then this curious thing here, the upgraded round of the tank. I'll get into that in a minute. You got the suspensions, brake system, fire protection, adjustment of fire, the heat round on tier 2, filters, crew replenishment, elevation, gun mechanism, and smoke grenades on tier 3, and transmission and engine on tier 4. Bear in mind, tier 4 is going to be the hardest to get because there's only 2 of them, and Gaijin likes to make it where when there's only 2 or there's even just one, it's absolute torture to get there and get them done, so good luck with that one. Let's move on to the rounds now. So you have the Panzergranate 39 round. It's an armor-piercing cap ballistic cap shell. It has a projectile mass of 10.2 kilograms, and its muzzle velocity is 773 meters a second. The explosive type is H10, but we're going to ignore that, and we're going to go with the TNT equivalent, 108.8 grams. So it's got some hefty explosive mass in there, good enough to really take out any tank it faces. Fuse delay 1.2 meters. Fuse sensitivity is 14 millimeters. Basically, it's gonna, if it pens any more than 14 millimeters of armor, the fuse is going to be set off, and then within 1.2 meters of penning that, it will explode. So essentially, pens target, travels for a little bit, then explodes, preferably around the center of the tank. That's the idea. So I'm going to go with the penetration. I'm going to do it in this order. So it's going to be 0 degrees first, then 30, then 60. Right? Ready? Okay, cool. Let's go. So 10 meters, 165, 132, 56. 100 meters, 162, 130, 56. 500 meters, 151, 121, 52. 1000 meters, 139, 111, 48. 1500 meters, 127, 102, 44. 2000 meters, 117, 94, 40. That's all in millimeters. So it's got good penetration even at 2000 meters range overall. Now let's move on to the upgraded round, the curious round that you see in the upgrades. Now normally with an upgraded round, you'd think it would travel slower. With an upgraded round, you think it would have more penetration. This is completely not the case with this tank. It's not the case at all. With this round, you actually lose penetration. However, you gain muzzle velocity. Now, it's very strange because normally you think, oh, the upgraded round, it'll be the faster round with more muzzle velocity and more penetration. No. You swap one out for the other here. So, you're getting more velocity, yes. You'll be able to hit targets easier at range. But you're sacrificing your penetration for that ability, which is really strange. I think I've mentioned it already. It's really strange. However, another thing with this round is you have even more explosive mass, which means if you were killing a tank before, you are absolutely going to disintegrate the enemy tank when you pen them with this round. You won't just kill them, you'll disintegrate them. But you are basically losing, if we look at the point blank penetration here, you are losing 12 millimeters of penetration. So let's go with the penetration values. Here we go again. Remember, 0 degrees, 30 degrees, 60 degrees, all in millimeters. Let's go. 10 meters, 153 millimeters, 123, 53. 100 meters, 151, 121, 52. 500 meters, 140, 113, 48. 1000 meters, 128, 103, 44. 1500 meters, 116, 94, 40. 2000 meters, 106, 85, 36. And I think that pretty much does it. Actually, let's look at the heat round, shall we? There you go. Heat round, 110 millimeters of pen at all ranges at 0 degrees. 30 degrees is 95. And 60 degrees is 55. But then again, I don't understand really why you'd need to know this. Because the heat round, the only thing it's good for really on this tank is killing milk trucks. You know, the Russian SPAA with those Maxim machine guns bolted on. That's what the Hesh round is good for. Sorry, what the heat round is good for. Hesh. Jesus, can you imagine a Tiger with Hesh rounds? But that's what the heat rounds are good for. Pretty much that. The HE round, again, just for killing milk trucks. And I think that pretty much does it with the Tiger's review, all the armour and everything in the hangar. Let's go to a battle and see how it does there, yeah? So this is a 5.7 game. I was squadded up with one of my friends, Banana Phoenix, who is right here in his Dickomax. I will leave his channel in the description, as I always do. And we decided straight away that we were going to move up to the little village here on the map and cause some chaos around this point, because you always have a flood of people from both teams going straight to B, and we thought, well, we'll go up here, they'll go down to B, we'll have great shots on them. Now you may be thinking, but Ross, why are you going there in the Tiger? You should be going straight to B because you're a heavy tank. Not all heavy tanks are as we would define a heavy tank. Just because it's a heavy tank, it does not mean it's immediately a tank that goes head first, charges head first into the enemy and soaks up damage. Doesn't always mean it's designed like that. Doesn't always mean it's designed with that in mind. It just means that it's because it's heavy, hence the name, heavy tank. I mean, the tank's name, it was Panzer 6. The Germans, it just literally translated to tank 6. This was just a tank that they designed for a role. Tiger's role was to defeat heavily armoured opponents. And by the way, there is an M18 in these bushes here, and Phoenix is about to say hello to him, and there he goes. Down goes an M18, who was probably doing exactly what we are. But as I was saying, and there's another shot there in front of us. Any moment now. Another M18 was there as well, and it killed Phoenix. I have seen the M18, and I am going to get revenge for my friend. I almost forgot to move to my viewpoint there. That was quite a lucky reaction there. Good thing I noticed. Yeah, can you imagine that, having the entire replay just looking in one direction the entire time? Woo! Great game. But anyway, so that's the first kill. If you noticed for the split second, there was in my viewpoint. Now I do have a custom sight on. It will not show it properly in the replay. I do apologise, but basically, it's the historical German Tiger sight, and the range moves. Basically, the range moves. Sorry, I sound like a right idiot right now. I do apologise. I don't know what the correct terms are for that sight. But I see machine gun fire coming from over there in the trees. So I zoom in with my binoculars to see what it is. And if we look on the map real quick, Phoenix is coming back in his Tiger now. And here we go. I think I'm about to aim at something. Look like that. No? Never mind then, I haven't. Bear in mind, I do apologise, I haven't watched the replay back before recording. Just checking the obvious spots. The windmill especially, there's always a tank destroyer in that windmill. Right at the other side of the map. Now, there's a cluster of enemy tanks in B at the moment. Hence why I'm now moving up. I want to get a shot on some of those juicy targets in B. But the Tiger, it's, as I was saying, it's not, just because it's a heavy tank doesn't mean it was designed to go and brawl. You want a heavy tank that goes and brawls. Play the Russian heavy tanks, there you go. They are heavy tanks that are designed to brawl. They're good at close range. The Tiger is more of a heavy tank where it's, the further it is away, if you're a good shot, and the further you are away from your target, the more deadly you become, essentially. Moving through the bushes now. Being cautious because you don't know what you're going to find in these bushes. Now, using binoculars to scope out for enemy tanks. And there you go, I saw someone there. I see a small glimpse of him, but I can't hear him. And just about now, Phoenix has arrived next to me. So both of us are here now. There you go, I saw sparks there, sparks. As you can see, the rangefinder isn't working, but I can guarantee you the middle part is moving up and down as I'm rangefinding. I'm not just blind firing. And in case anyone's wondering, the middle triangle there, if the enemy, say they're just saying they are facing you, if they are facing you and they are as wide as the bottom of the triangle, essentially, they are 1,000 meters away. Say they are, there we go, I hit the IS-1, down he goes. That's this site for you. Like, the site is really good. Credit to the person who made it. Anyway, move it back onto the battle. They are in B, but the problem is they're all around buildings and all that, so I can't hit them. Well, a bit later on, there was a shot there on the left as I was looking through the binoculars, but I didn't see that. I was paying too much attention to where I'm looking right now because I keep seeing explosions going on there and it's driving my attention. Now I saw that explosion there, and so I now have my gun pointing right towards there, waiting for him to come out. But then I saw this tank here moving up. I want to get a shot off on him, but it was too late and he'd already moved away. So I tried to get my gun pointing here, hoping that he'd move up. Doesn't look like he wants to though. Looks like he's sitting right where he is now. So there's an enemy tank there. And Phoenix saw him, and then I fired as well. And there's an enemy tank right there, I fire at him, I hit him in the tracks. Quite unlucky, and there's a Sherman right there moving in on B. Phoenix saw him first, fired a shot. I was too busy looking behind me, because I could hear this engine. Can you hear the engine? I hear the engine. There is an engine, there is someone right next to us. Phoenix gets shot in the side. I quickly turn around, put one right into the chaffee, down the chaffee goes. Probably one of those M18 players who was coming back here. Just my guess. Sherman right there, I'm trying to range find him, but oh, I thought he was going to move forward, but he doesn't, and of course I missed the shot because of that. And I'm not getting the one because the Sherman's smart and he moves away behind the building. Looking again for enemy tanks hiding in the forests. There's an enemy tank right there. I start range finding him. I hit him, but I hit him in the one spot on the Sherman where it's pretty much guaranteed you'll bounce. And then we're taken out. Taken out by a P-47. This next game, once again, is a 5.7 game. Funnily enough, it's actually on the exact same map as well, just albeit a bigger variant of that map. This time I'm on my own. No squad mates to help me out if I'm in a bit of trouble this time. So this is purely me. Now I will say with warning, the first 5 or 10 minutes or so of this game could be quite boring. Depends on how interesting what I'm saying is. So this does give me time really to just say, just to say that The Tiger H1, it's, as I said in the previous game, it's one of those tanks that you just don't want to be using at close range, because the closer you are to the opponent, the more chance they've got of penetrating you. The T-34-85 especially, when you're over 700 meters away, if you're 1,000 meters away and angling against a T-34-85, there's almost nothing you can do against you. But most of the time, you see Tigers dying to the 85. Oh, there's an enemy tank right there. This is, I do believe, my first attempt at trying to shoot someone. Or I just watch him. I don't know. We'll see. No, I do believe I'll watch him because he starts turning and moving down, and then there's no way I can hit him then. Because he's coming towards us and moving sideways at the same time, which makes it twice as hard to actually hit someone. And as I said, the reticle in the middle is actually moving down, up and down, but you just can't see it in the replay for some reason. It seems there's no support for that yet in the replay system. There's a lot of things in the replay system where there isn't a support for, and this is where I'm going to be now for the next 5 minutes, shooting at this one guy. I managed to hit him once. I hit him once in all of the shots I fire, which I do believe is about 15. It's got to be 15 or more that I fire in the span of 5 minutes, and I only hit him once. Now, either I was terrible at aiming, or he saw these shots coming every single time and moved. There, I hit him once. I don't even know what it was. It's some kind of Sherman. I do believe it's a Sherman of some kind, but that's all I know. I know nothing else. And he fires at me again. I fire back at him. We're basically both just moving out of the way of each other's shots. He fires, I move, I fire, he moves. The same thing over and over again. This time I saw that shot wasn't actually going to hit me, so I took that opportunity to try and aim some more. But the problem is, you see, if he was just on his own and there was no bushes at all, I'd be able to range find him with this sight. The problem with this sight is you need a clear line of sight on someone to be able to range find them. And all I can see from this distance is bush, so I don't have a clear line of sight. And now we have friendly in front of us. I do believe it's a Panzer IV firing at him as well. No, that's not a Panzer IV, that's that new Swedish tank, I think. I'm pretty sure that's one of those new Swedish ones. Yeah, it looks like it. Don't know why the hell I thought it was a Panzer IV. Now, I'm watching in front of me because there could be enemy tanks flanking round. I'm pretty sure I'll only try and shoot him once or twice more. Never mind, I'm moving up. This is my moment. Now, the game has got off to a bit of a rocky start. No, I do start trying to shoot at him again. I was correct. My memory is working. There I go again, trying to hit him and absolutely failing at it. I see his shot coming my angle. No need anyway, he missed. He is the sole reason I will not move up. But he is coming out now, and I miss again. That was a terrible shot. I thought he was going to move forward, but he stopped to fire. I still don't know what it is. That was a terrible shot. I think it's at this point where at this point I did just start half guessing my shots because I was getting so frustrated with not being able to hit him. And actually I do think it might be, I think it's either a Jackson actually or a Wolverine. I think it's a Wolverine or a Jackson, yeah. Because I know he dies soon. Oh, whoops, spoilers. I do believe he dies soon though. And I do think it's an M10 or an M36. No, it's got to be an M10 because it couldn't be an M36 in this battle we're in. Or could it? The M36 is 5.7, is it? I do believe it's 5.7. Yeah, I think the M36 is 5.7. We'll find out in a minute. But I start moving up now, finally. Yeah, you know, it only took me a quarter of the game. Yeah, I think that was him just dying there. Or was it? No? No, it wasn't. He's behind there now. Behind the windmill. As you can see, I'm using my using the triangle there to try and guess the range that I need to hit him. But since he was halfway behind the windmill, there was no way I was going to guess the range. But I'll try anyway. I'll give it my best shot. Desperately looking for something else to shoot at, because I know I'm not going to be able to hit this guy at this point. As you can see, yes, I've wasted 14 rounds trying to hit this one guy, this one enemy tank. Now, if I hadn't wasted all those rounds, this game could have been a lot better. It could have been. What this game could have been for me would have been spectacular. And he has bombs dropped on him. It was neither an M36 or an M10, it was an Achilles. The Achilles is closer to an M36, so I'm going to pass it off as half right. Because I don't like losing. So at this point, though, where the fun begins. Because our team is now moving towards the B point. The enemy team is clustered around the B point, or will be soon enough. So this is where the game takes a turn from being just plain old boring to spectacular. Because I finally get the rangefinder working how I want it to, because I actually get clear shots. Now bear in mind, historically, the Germans wouldn't really get the kill on the first shot. It would be the second shot. The first shot was more of the range finding shot. That was the shot that they fired with their guessed range, and if they didn't hit, then they would adjust their range accordingly to make sure it did hit on the second shot. And that's what this rangefinder is primarily good at. You get a near hit, you get near them. Ah, here we go. That is a xray, I do believe, or a Cheeto. I'm trying to use the rangefinder again to guess, but he's already gone. There's no way I'm going to get him now. However, there is an enemy Sherman moving up there. There's a whole load of them moving up. And they think that they are safe. They think they're safe. So I have guessed the range. I fire. I hit right next to them. But that's enough to make them panic. Or make the one that I shot at panic. Or not. He didn't move. Now he's going to move because I just hit him. That was the second shot. I got a confirmed hit on the second shot. He's now going to start moving to avoid it. And that, I do believe... I don't know what the hell that is. I think that might be a locust. I didn't even notice that when I was playing it. Oh my god, what is he doing? Madman. Just charging straight up. There we go, M6 hit. Crew knocked out, tank dead. Enemy Sherman moving up. Probably because the M6 just got taken out. Enemy Sherman hit, dead. Two enemy tanks that were right by our spawn. Sorry, not by our spawn, by our A point. They're dead. I think that, yeah, that's what he was doing, the M22 Locust. He's capping A. But that's pretty much it for them. They are both dead and knocked out. And this is where they start going towards the B point. Our team is on the B point right now, all clustered around it. And you'd think, well, this would be the end. You'd think that this would be the point where we win. Not yet. It's only halfway through the battle. We still have the other half to go. Moving into a good position to be able to have overwatch over B, which is round by where that windmill and the houses are there. At least I think it is anyway. I can't tell because I haven't got markers on, so I can just see it on the map, so I'm just guessing. Do forgive me if I'm wrong. I see a smoke shot there, but there's no point. He was already behind the house, so there's nothing I can do. So I swivel my whole round to be able to get the turret to turn faster. And there, IS-2. IS-1 as well. Sorry, KV-85, not an IS-1. I do believe at this point though I am blind. Unless I wasn't. There's no way I wouldn't be focusing on them. Yeah, I think I was focusing on the bushes here at the moment. I didn't even see those two. I cannot believe I did not see them. Not that IS-2 anyway. Really give you up there, I saw him. It's because the IS-2 was moving slowly, so I didn't see him. And this is where I notice enemy tanks. Any moment I will notice it, hopefully. Yeah, I should notice it, an enemy tank moving up on B. There he is. Sherman on B. Range finding. He's moving. I fire my shot. I hit him. Unfortunately, I hit a bit low. So I adjust my range. I fire again. This time, because of the angle that my tank is sitting on, the shot went a bit to the left. So I try again. This time adjusting for that angle. I hit him right on the corner on the front, and that's enough to take him out. Here comes another enemy, Sherman now, moving into B. I range find again. I fire. I miss only just. But he will get behind that building before I can adjust my range. And there's an M6 right there. I range find, I fire. I hit a bit too low again, but I did hit him. And I adjust my range just by a little bit to hit him again. I fire. I hit him. Unfortunately, I didn't kill him. I took out most of his crew but did not actually kill him, which was a shame. But notice my round count, notice my ammunition count. I am very low on ammunition right now. I only have 4 rounds left, and I know that. And it's at this point where the game just decides it doesn't want to let me do anything anymore. I'm not allowed to kill anything. And that M6 has noticed where I am, and he's now firing back at me. However, at this range, I am not overly worried about him penning me. I'm more worried about him actually hitting me and alerting everybody else where I am. Because, you know, you get that marker on you when you're spotted, when you're shot. Because at this range, he can't pen me, but I can pen him. But, of course, he's obscured. I'm just going on by what I'm seeing, all the shots that keep coming through the tree line. So I'm just guessing here where he is. And of course I'm missing now every time. I notice I've only got 1 shot left at this point. And so I'm just retreating, and then I notice that Sherman is looking at me, which is not good for me. So angling the rear, I range find on him. Trying to see if I can get a shot off on him. Just miss, right in front of him. So now I have to retreat, because I have no ammunition. I am useless to my team with no ammunition, and they all know I'm here. So this is almost like a Benny Hill chase. Just running away, because that's all I can do. And now the enemy team is now shooting at me because they know I'm here. Just the hailstorm of rounds that will now come my way as I try and retreat to the A point. If I hadn't wasted all of those rounds that I fired back on that one guy at the start of the game, well, this probably would have turned out a lot differently, and I probably would have got a good kill ratio in this game. I mean, I think I get a good amount of kills anyway, but it would have been better had I not wasted all that ammunition. But I just thought this game would be good for the replay, mainly because it shows what the Tiger is capable of when at range, as opposed to rolling, which most of the time you'll see. And that was very close to hitting me. I almost went down there. Because I know at range, yes, its armor's good, but side on at range, armor not good. Side armor, flat face make tank go boom boom. So look at all the enemy tanks clustered around B. They are all there. The entire enemy team now is around B. They all came rushing back to defend the B point when they were called for. I mean, that's the thing with allied teams, really, isn't it? When they notice that the point is being invaded, they all come rushing back to defend it. Whereas I've noticed with Axis teams, it's more some will come back to defend, but some will keep attacking. So it's like your force is split up. Whereas with the Allies, it seems to be that they all just cluster around whatever everyone else is doing. And I got hit in the engine there, so I was very lucky they didn't actually kill me. In case anyone's wondering, I do believe that that's an M18 firing at me. All the way over there, right there. About, I don't know how he managed to hit me at that distance, but he did. I finally have one round loaded back up. This is why I ran back to the A point to start reloading ammunition. And so I start range finding. And every time he fires, if you've noticed, I go out of the rangefinder and I swiggle my turret. I turn it round as he fires, because that way the turret's armour is actually good. Because flat on like that, he'll pen it. Angled, however, it's got a much less chance of penning, as opposed to it just being flat on to him. So, that's what I do. See him fire again. I angle the turret so it bounces. I rangefind, I fire back at him. He bounces again. I missed my first shot, but it was close. As usual with the historical German optics sight. I think that one it would have hit, but as you notice there, he moved as it came towards him. So he's doing exactly what I'm doing. Or what I was doing earlier, avoiding the shot. And I don't know how that one hit the hill, because that I had the range find. Oh, and there's a Sherman right there. I see a Sherman. I range find the Sherman. I fire. I hit just above the Sherman. He's still sitting there. I fire again. However, that's not a Sherman. Or it is a Sherman, but it's actually the Sherman that I took out earlier. That's a friendly tank there, by the way. So, I'm not shooting him, obviously. All these tanks moving in now are friendlies on the left side. In case you're wondering why I have moments where I'm just sitting here, I'm typing to someone who's essentially coordinating the rest of our team attacking B. I'm just letting them know what I'm seeing. And I'm pretty sure there's an enemy tank there moving in. On the hillside there's an enemy Sherman right there moving in through the forest. I range find, or attempt to, but it's really, as I said before, it's hard to range find when they're in the forest like this. But I do attempt it. I fire. I miss. Only just again. That was a poor shot. I didn't really take my time with that one. Could have done better. There. See an enemy tank again moving through the forest. Only just. Really slight. Right where my cursor is right now. There's an enemy tank on the hill. I'll range find him. But he moves as a fire. So my shot hits behind. He now knows someone's shooting at him. And he's done the one thing he shouldn't do in that tank, and that's reverse. Because as we know, the Cheeto's reverse is absolutely terrible. So him reversing is actually what's got him killed. Down he goes. And there's somebody on their side spamming machine guns at a plane, I do believe. Yes, because if you look on the map, we have quite a few planes now flying around. We have air superiority, we have ground superiority. It's only a matter of time until we've captured the B point and we win. And that plane is flying very low. He's lucky he didn't crash. All our team there in B preparing for the onslaught of enemy tanks, and here they come. Here comes a Sherman. My rangefind. Get ready for him to come from behind the trees. I fire. My shot bit far behind, bit too high. A rangefind for a second shot, but he's dead. Well, he's not dead yet. He will be in a moment. There he goes. I called it preemptively. I hear engines behind me. Only find there's a T-34. T-34 is loud. It's a loud tank. No wonder you hear the T-34s more than any other tank most of the time, because it is very loud. And there you can see Sherman's moving up on the bottom left. I haven't noticed it yet. Now I've noticed it with the machine guns. This is why you do not fire machine guns, people, because it gets you noticed. As this Sherman is about to find out. I missed the first shot. He's shooting at one of our SPGs who's been calling for help. I'm desperately trying to kill this guy so I can help my friend, and there he goes. Down he goes. I have just saved the tank destroyer's life. And the enemy at this point in time, they have had to fall back because they've lost too many near B. Partly due to me sitting here hitting them from the other side of the map. So this is what the Tiger is designed for. It's designed for sitting here far away, hitting the enemy tanks before they even get into firing range, before they can even have a chance of being able to penetrate the Tiger. This is what it's designed for. The only problem is War Thunder's maps don't ever allow for this type of gameplay. They don't ever allow you to sit here at ranges like this, sniping enemy tanks with your long-barreled 88 or 75 or whatever gun you're using, because the maps aren't big enough. Gaijin, you need to make the maps big enough so tanks like the Tiger have a much better role to play. You need to make all maps bigger, not just some. This is only one, and it's very rare you'll ever get this map. I love this map. I love maps like this, but it's rare you get them. You normally just get the Conquest maps, which are really small. They're not big enough anymore. They were big enough when we first started playing, but not anymore. And I think that will do it with the Tiger review. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. In my opinion, the Tiger is a great tank. Get it. See ya.